Joys of a Honda 600 fuel pump. So this is a CBR600 F3 and what it means, it has got a fuel pump and it has got carburetors. You can't quite see them, but trust me, it's carburetors. The F2 has got carburetors but no fuel pump, and the F4 has got a fuel pump and no carburetors. So this is like the intermediate one. And so this fuel pump here, very simple device. It takes fuel from the tank and it pumps it into the carburetors, and so therefore the only pressure it needs to overcome is the pressure of the line up to the carburetors and to the needle valves in the float bowls. So not high pressure at all, very, very low pressure pump, and it shuts off when the pressure reaches a certain level. These things are wired up quite, in my mind, quite unusually, and so I'll try and explain how it is. The pump is driven, there's two wires there. One is a power feed and one is an earth wire. The power feed comes from this thing, which is a relay. There's the relay, and there's the connector. So let's have a look at the connector. You've got a yellow and blue wire, you've got a black and white wire, and a black and blue wire. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little diagram to show you how it all fits together and how these things work, how to test them, because people often say my fuel pump isn't working and I've got a problem, and it doesn't necessarily mean that because your fuel pump isn't running that you've got a problem, and I'll try to explain why. So here's my little diagram of the pump system. The orange boxes are electrical devices, the green boxes are fuel, and the pump is in blue, just for a different colour. The connectors are shown as the red boxes. So the connector I showed in the previous video clip is connector number 1, and there's connector number 2 as well. So I just wanted to show the difference between the different models as well. So you can see that the F2 and the F3 are carbies, while the F4i is an injector model. And the F2 doesn't have a pump, whereas the F3 and the F4i do. Now I should point out that the pumps are very different between the F3 and the F4. So the F3 is not really a pump, a pressure pump. It's more of a transfer pump, and all it does is it just moves fuel into the carbs. And one of the things it's designed to do is that as soon as there is a small back pressure, the pump stops. So if the carbs are full, or that hose that goes from the pump to the carb bowl is even slightly blocked, the system inside the pump disconnects the electrical supply to the pump motor, the electric part of the pump motor, and the pump stops. So if there's any back pressure of any kind, in other words, if the carbs are full, or if the filter is blocked, or if the hose has got a restriction, then the pump will not run. So you may find that the system's working perfectly, but the pump doesn't run because the carbs are full. So to do any test on here, you have to make sure that the pump has got something to pump into. So the carbs should be empty, the carb bowls should be empty. So you can look at it by either draining the fuel from the carbs, or you can disconnect the hose from the pump to the carbs itself. That makes sure that there's no back pressure acting on the pump. Now, the way that this works is because there's such a small back pressure working on the contacts of the pump itself, the contacts themselves are known to wear, and they can be a bit suspect, and the contacts are at the back of the pump. And sometimes they just need a little bit of clean or a bit of tender loving care, but they are known as the weak part of the fuel system. So what I want to do here is I want to show how the electrical wiring is put together and how you can then test the system. So the first thing that I wanted to do is to say, well, if we know that there is nothing stopping fuel leaving the pump, let's see if the pump will now work. So what you need to do is disconnect the connector number 2. So once you've disconnected the pump, you now want to put a 12-volt feed across the pump itself, and just do that straight from the battery through a couple of jumpers. Now if the pump runs, that's great. So you then move on to the next step, because you know the pump's working and it'll transfer fuel. If it doesn't run, you've really got 3 options there. The pump can be faulty, There could be a blocked hose, or there can be some back pressure preventing the pump from running, or you've got some dodgy contacts in the pump. But either way, you need to fix one of those problems before you go any further, because obviously when you put power directly to the pump, it's not working, so you need to fix that first. So the next step then is to reconnect the pump. So that's connector number 2 put back together, and then disconnect the relay, which is the connector number 1, which is the one that you saw in the very first clip. So what you want to do now is you want to check to see if you're actually getting power to that connector, which is the black and white wire, which is normally the one in the middle, but check to see which it is in your particular connector. So what you need to do is make sure the ignition is on, and that you've got the run switch on as well, because sometimes the run switch puts the power to the coils, and you want to check that you've got 12 volts or battery voltage coming between that black and white wire and earth. So just use a standard multimeter and check you got power at that black and white cable, and if you do, great, we move on to the next step. If not, you've got an issue with power not coming to the connector. Now if the power's not coming to the connector, obviously the relay's not going to work, the pump's not going to work, so you need to fix that. So you need to find out why you're not getting any power to the connector, because normally if you're not getting any power on that black and white wire, nothing's going to work. It powers the coils, it powers all the other sensors, so make sure you've got power coming along that black and white cable before you go anywhere else. And really the first thing I would do is I would check to see if you're getting power to the coils, because if you are, then obviously there's an issue between the wiring. If you haven't got power to the coils, then clearly you've got an issue with either the ICM or the ignition switching system that gets you power to the bike. So it's either a switch system problem, or a fuse problem, or a wiring problem. But again, you need to fix that before we move on. Fantastic, we've got power to the connector, and we just need to make sure now that we can actually get power from the connector to the pump. So just get something like a paper clip or a bit of lock wire or something, and jump the connector between the black and white and the black and blue wire. And what that does is that basically acts like the relay should do, and it takes power through the connector and into the pump, and the pump should run, because you've already proved the pump runs, and you've already proved you've got power there, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work. If it doesn't, then you've obviously got an issue with wiring or connectors, and so look at the connector condition, look at the wiring condition, and make sure you've got continuity between connector 1 and connector 2, because you know already you've got continuity to connector 1, and you've got continuity from connector 2, so the problem can only be between the two. So this is where it starts getting interesting. So put the connector back together again so the relay is in the system, and then what you need to do is to check to see if the relay works. Now the relay is set up on this particular bike such that there is a blue and yellow wire that feeds it and the coil pack. And it only feeds coil pack which feeds coil pack 2 and 3. Now what the ignition control module does is, when it is switched on, it provides a back voltage against the relay and against the coil, so that the voltage that comes through the black and white wire energizes the coil and it energizes the relay, but it doesn't actually do anything because there is no flow through there, because there is a back voltage on that blue and yellow wire. Now what the ICM then does is, as the engine runs and the engine turns over, it earths that blue and yellow wire for very short periods of time, which does two things. It fires the coil, so therefore allows the coil to discharge and provide sparks to number 2 and 3 cylinder, and it also earths the relay, allowing the relay to pass voltage to the pump. So you don't get continuous voltage to the pump at any point in time, because that blue and yellow wire is not always earthed. So what you can do is you can check to see if the relay works by earthing that blue and yellow wire. Obviously make sure you've got power on, make sure you're well away from the spark plugs because it may discharge the coils, and if you earth that blue and yellow wire, the relay should open and it should pass continuous current through the relay into the pump, and the pump should run. And if it does, great, fantastic, you're on there. If it doesn't, then it's likely that the relay is faulty again, or if you've got a blocked hose or you get issues with the pump. But it's most likely the relay is faulty, because you know that when you have power directly to the pump, it works. You know the connectors and the cables are good, and the only thing that's stopping the power getting from the black and white wire to the black and blue wire is that relay, and the relay isn't working when you earth that blue and yellow wire, so something's wrong. So everything seems tickety-boo. You've got power to the relay, and the power is then sent to the pump when that blue and yellow wire is earthed, so the pump runs. Now, the pump will only run when that blue and yellow wire is earthed, and that was only earthed when the engine is rotating. So what you need to do is, if you're still having issues, you need to check to see if the coils are sparking, and if the sparks are working, then you know all is well, and that system is functioning correctly, and so you are getting the signals to the relay at the right time. The relay is opening and providing power to the pump is running, and therefore you have another issue somewhere else if the bike won't start. So anyway, that is the summary of the Honda CB600 F3 fuel system. Hopefully it gives you a bit of a background into some of the fuel problems that people say they have, when sometimes it may just be a misunderstanding of how the system works. Send us any comments if you have any, and good luck.